Hi, Courtney here, and I want to share something that's been on my mind for a couple of days now. And if you like this content, please give it a thumbs up because it really helps the channel. And I'd really appreciate if you subscribe. I talk about all things health and personal finance, living a holistically healthy life, mentally, spiritually, physically, and financially. So, compensation. I was in a course a couple of years ago that was a vegan course. I am vegan, whole food, plant-based. And so I teach a lot about helping people get in a better, eating more whole food plants, not necessarily becoming vegan, because I know a lot of people don't want to do that, but they want to be healthier. I also work in lifestyle medicine. I'm a stress management specialist as a yoga therapist, and I'm a solution-focused coach. So I was taking this course and they kept talking about compensation as a negative. So a lot of the people in this course, I didn't know this when I signed up, were struggling with food addiction, and that was not my problem. And so they would say things like, you can't eat the milkshake and then think you're going to have a salad for dinner and that's going to undo it. And that is compensation. But for those of us that aren't struggling with food addiction, I want to tell you how I use compensation, not even every day, but just I think of it more as balance. Last week, so if you follow me, you know that I have had some health problems the past 2 years during the pandemic. I work in healthcare. I got sick early on. I'd had a car accident, got sick, and then I got sick again, which led to a post-viral syndrome, which has kept me fairly ill, unfortunately, for the last 20 months. And I catch everything that comes down the pike now. And I was really fit and healthy before this all happened. So last weekend, I say that to preface that we had to take a trip to pick up a vehicle, and it was going to be 9 hours in the car. And I was getting over being ill. I did not have the strength to food prep. I threw some snacks and some water and things like that in the car. So my husband and I go get this car, and that night we come back, and halfway through we stopped to spend the night because my son lived halfway in the middle. I knew there was a restaurant that had a vegan menu. I had only been there one time. I remember eating like a veggie burger, but I knew they had an extensive vegan menu. So I asked my son to meet us there. Well, it was super greasy. So I'm a whole food, plant-based, low-fat, vegan, if you will. And anyways, everything was in grease. Everything was greasy. There were lots of sauces. And my husband is plant-based at home, and my son is not at all. And he said, "Mom, that's like vegan food for people who aren't vegan, like people who cook vegan food, but they have no idea what to do." And it definitely was. And it made me feel terrible. So I compensated. I ate what I could just to get enough nourishment. And then the next morning, I got up. We were staying in a really nice hotel. They have a very extensive breakfast. And I got a big plate of fruit. I just ate a ton of fruit to hydrate, to give me fiber, to give me water. I made some green tea. They had some oatmeal there, which I ate a bowl of that. And that kind of helped me feel like everything wasn't just stuck in my body, all that grease. Then my husband and I took a walk, which that kind of helped just make me not feel so sluggish. Then that day at lunch, my son and I chose a restaurant where I could get some really healthy, good food. I had some hummus and I had some grape dolmas. They did have a little oil, but it was as healthy as I could find, some vegetable skewers. And then I stopped at the health food store. My son lives in a kind of college town that's not kind of, it's college town. And they have really great health food stores there. And I picked up a bunch of local produce. And when I got home, I made a big salad for dinner and we had this big smoothie. And that was a really healthy, low-fat, highly nutritiously dense meal. So I used compensation to my favor. We can't always be perfect. We're going to run into situations where we're going to have to eat things that don't necessarily agree with us, or maybe we choose to. As long as we're not doing that on a regular basis, and we know we're going to compensate, that's when it gets out of hand. I think compensation can be a good thing. Finances and health often parallel each other. And this is, I think, why I'm like, these are my hobbies, is finance and fitness and health, and the way I eat. In finance, this week in particular, last week I spent a lot of money on groceries. It's been probably 12 days since I've been to the grocery store. I'm not really sure. It's been a long time. I spent $176 on groceries, and this week I decided not to go to the grocery store. I did go down to our local Dollar General. I had to pick up some paper towels and toilet paper and stuff, but I picked up like 3 things of frozen vegetables, a package of rice, and a couple cans of beans. And we've been eating all of our staples. I've been trying to use up all the condiments, the sauces. Obviously can't use them all because we have so many, but like all the stuff that's in the fridge to reduce waste. So I've only spent $46 this week on groceries, and that included some toiletries. So not very much. I wanted to do some things for myself. I had been ill and struggling and having a lot of joint pain. I wanted to get a massage, and I wanted to get my nails done. These are not things I do very often at all, a few times a year. I spent about what I would spend on groceries in lieu of buying groceries and using up what I have. So I compensated. So I still stayed within my budget this week, but we just ended up using all of our pantry staples, if you will, to eat on. So even though I can afford to do more, I like to try to stay in budget because we have some financial goals and I really want to retire early. And so it's more important to me, but it allows me to enjoy my life and do things that I enjoy, like get a massage, get my nails done. And I don't really I don't really feel like I miss anything by eating up the pantry staples. As a matter of fact, I believe 100% that when we have limited choices, it's easier because it reduces decision fatigue, if you will. So like tonight, I looked in the freezer. Today I did an inventory of everything we had and I made a meal plan. And it was pretty extensive, believe it or not. We had some leftover pasta. I had stuff to make cashew-based mac and cheese. I have potatoes. I have sweet potatoes. I had green beans. So I made a meal plan. I had made some rice. I had leftover rice. I had an onion. I had some tofu. I had a can of pineapple. And I had a whole bunch of like half bags of frozen vegetables. Cauliflower rice, onions, mixed vegetables, peas, stir fry. It was delicious. I had made some ponzu sauce that needed to be eaten up. So we had a big stir fry. I have some left over from that big salad I made the other day. I have leftover tomato, onion, lettuce, and we have some leftover veggie burgers, and we have some bread. So I'm going to make veggie burgers tomorrow for lunch. So you see, you just kind of, it reduces the decision fatigue because it's like, oh, okay, I have lettuce, tomato, onion. What can I make with this? I can make a sandwich. So I hope that that's helpful. That's how I use compensation. And I really feel like it helps me bring a lot of value to my life. And I love the feeling of being resourceful. I don't know. I just get a kick out of it. This is going to sound ridiculous. I love nothing more than having an empty bottle or box or something that I can either put in the recycling bin or throw away because I used every last drop. I didn't waste it. I hate throwing away food. So if you found value in this, please give it a thumbs up, and I'd love to have you here. I don't post a lot. I don't do this for anything other than a hobby, but I really have enjoyed the friends I've made on YouTube that have similar interests. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.